what's current. Did pretty well yesterday. The 4th of July, Independence Day, had the cookout. That was fine. That was great. But did better with the video. And I want to thank, I don't even remember his name, but whoever his name was, he was going, oh, you got 13 people. That's 13 people that's multiplied. It came out to be close to 400 views on that one video. Nobody behind me. I have nobody that shares. I have nobody that cares. No, but seriously, I have nobody that facilitates. No director. No makeup artist. No, it's just me. It's just me and the camera and my thoughts. That's it. It's all me. Not since the beginning. Since the beginning, it was Mr. Troystar Terrain that he even gave me this line of thinking to do. He even gave me this special project to do about flat earthers. And I appreciate that he gave me that amount of knowledge, amount of space to grow. So I appreciate him. But otherwise, nobody else. It's all me. Everything is all me. So pat myself on the back. Do that. But anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist, one of the directors, I think, of the New York Planetarium or New York. Let me go to my notes. I'm gonna go to my notes. Let me make sure I get this right. The Hayden Planetarium, yeah, in New York City. He is the director. He's the 5th head since 1935 of the world-renowned Hayden, I think it's Hayden, Planetarium in New York City, and the first occupant of its Frederick P. Rose directorship. So this guy's got all the accolades, all the credentials, everything together. He just happens to be a man of color, where there's a field that not too many men of color are in, and that's science, especially since the physics, chemistry, biology, or medicine. All the Nobel Prizes for science have gone to people of other backgrounds besides of direct African descent or of FBA, which I think Dr. Tyson is. He's a foundational Black American. But what I'm getting at is his right now is his ability to explain himself with a simplicity and a clarity that even a 5-year-old can understand, but somebody who's 50-year-old can also appreciate at the same time about flat earthers. And he gives an example. He says, the reason why there are flat earthers is because of 2 things. 1, we have a freedom of speech in this country, in America. 2, we have a failed educational system. And I'll get to that later. I'll get to that part later. But he was saying, essentially, there's models. I don't remember every aspect of the model, but he's like, there's these wells that he has in the earth, and why the sun can only put its rays on a certain part or portion of the earth, of the wells at the same time. And that's the reason why it's a spherical shape. And he expounded upon what I was saying yesterday. How everybody's like flat earth. Why aren't people saying flat Mars, flat Jupiter, flat Saturn? Everybody else is spherical, but the earth is flat. Where's the logic? Where's the sense in that? So with flat earthers, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not trying to condemn people for actually having a thought, even though it's wrong and it's anathema to science. I have to at least give them the opportunity to say that the earth is flat, and you have that freedom of speech ready. You can say that. You can't say that in some country somewhere has outlawed the fact that you can't say it's a flat that you can't say it's a flat earth. They have it outlawed for you to be able to say that. Somewhere, one of the hundreds of countries on this planet has probably outlawed you saying it. Even though it's right, you just can't say it. It's the same thing with, well, we know about what I was talking about last week and the week before. But you can't say a lot of things about occurrences that happened in World War II and things of that nature. Yeah, we're not gonna get too far into that. But the flat earthers, he doesn't want to get in debates. There's no debate. It's like debate. Well, we're gonna have a debate whether water is wet. Like, well, water isn't always wet. It's sometimes it's gaseous. Sometimes it's ice, and ice can be really solid and not liquid. I mean, is it wet technically? I mean, I don't know. It's like, why even equivocate? Why even go back and forth or try to make something equal when it's completely going against what reality says? That's the scary part. That's the sad part. So we have to look at that critically and sincerely. And what's great about Dr. deGrasse Tyson, like I said, he gives a great way of conveying a message. He gives a great way of showing how how simple it is to be on the right side, which is Earth is round. It's not even. It's so weird how it even comes up. I think he had an interview with Joe Rogan. I think he said like 60%. I think he said 60% of Generation Y or either Generation Y or millennials believe that the Earth is actually flat. When we all know, they should there should be space missions for these people. They should be going into space. They shouldn't have to pay exorbitant amounts of money. They should just be strapped to a rocket. No, not that serious. But they should be sitting into space, so they'll look back and they'll see, oh, look at Earth. It's round. Isn't that something? How about that? I had to go off of the planet itself just to look back and say, wow, we actually have a round Earth. No kidding. But that's the truth behind all this. You have to have truth, and I'm sure neither Mr. Rogan or Dr. Tyson are objectivists, but objectivism isn't a science; it's a philosophy. But it encompasses science through epistemology, which is reason, and it advocates for people that think and people that are rational, people that use science to gather knowledge and to know what's going on in the world and the universe. So that is, I think, very powerful. I think that's very powerful. I think that's a very strong way of looking at things when you don't have the absolute certainty of something. Nobody can be absolutely certain until you are absolutely certain. You have to investigate. You have to investigate. That's what people like with police force. Police force and the law courts. They're perfect examples. Could you imagine if police departments used investigations as God? For as Christians and Jews and Muslims and Buddhists and Hindu and all that, if they treated investigations like they treat faith, it would just be a disturbing, disgusting, horrific world, even more than sometimes it can be now, because all they have to say is, hey, look, it happened for a reason. God wanted this to happen. That's all that is. That's all that is. Hey, reason out the window. God wanted it for a reason. That's the reason why he was shot in the head. It wasn't because somebody shot him with a gun. So a bullet came and entered his brain at this angle. Not like it fell on his head or anything, but it was fired from something, but maybe not this weapon. Like you get my drift. Like, faith is the destroyer of all reason. Dion Wilson, what about? I'm not your bro, Dion. And what about Jesus? What does Jesus have to do with anything? I'm talking about flat earthers and people that are in the know and scientifically and rationally. What are you saying? I'm not your bro. If you want to ask the question, it's $5. My Cash App is $SkyLersanders1. So if you want to ask a question, fire away, but I'll answer it if you give me $5. Let me see here. So Neil deGrasse Tyson is just chatting it up with. He's talking. I saw two clips. One with Joe Rogan, the other one with D Nice. And they're very entertaining and but they're educational as well. I enjoy the fact that Dr. Tyson is following the footsteps of Carl Sagan. The late great Carl Sagan had such an impact on many people because of his Cosmos series. And he made so many observations and he made so many connections in simple terms. Like I said, a 5-year-old to a 55-year-old can understand and appreciate it. Just on different levels, of course, but they can still appreciate the fact that they had the possibility of explaining things that are very complex. Like astrophysics is a lot of science and mathematics and a lot of discovery and finding out things and everything, but it's very simple at the same time. Even like the terminology of physics and astrophysics. What are those things on the moon that look like spots? Let's call them sunspots. Like, just very simple, very clear cut. What's that stuff in between the celestial bodies that orbit? Looks like dust. Let's call it space dust. It's out there in space. Looks like dust. Let's call it space dust. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a beautiful system. That's one of the three main things that I think is just so amazing and so worthy of our time and attention. And if, like Ayn Rand said, philosophy is the soil for which the sciences, which are the trees, grow. That was amongst her many brilliant observations. That was a key one. That was very true. And the three trees that get to me mostly are oceanography, astrophysics, and psychology. And I think psychology is probably the most important one out of all of them, because that's the human psyche. That's the one you can't go into. I mean, they tried to do it with phrenology and they tried to do it with other means of doing it, but to discover and to study somebody's actions and their morale and their rationality or their lack of rationality, I mean, that takes a lot. That takes a great amount of effort, tremendous and serious effort. And then I'm not trying to downplay oceanography or astrophysics, but you can actually explore the oceans. You can go down. You can go so far. But there's a layer or a region of the ocean that has never been explored before. It's so deep, it's never been explored. But and the same thing with space, astrophysics. There are parts of the universe that we don't even know about. There could be other life forms we'll never know about because it takes too long for them to get here. They would have to have the means to get here, and we can't go to them because we don't have the means to get to them. So we just have to speculate and wonder and think and just make movies and write novels and get Nebula Awards and that's basically all we can do. But so flat earthers are not like they're not like National Socialists. They're not evil. I don't think they're just mistaken, gravely mistaken. Just to say that the Earth is flat, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Like, cause the moon. Why don't they say flat moon? Why is there no flat moon? The moon looks obviously isn't flat. And this is what Dr. Tyson says as well. He says that during eclipses that you can see the shadow is rounded is more rounded, and that's how you can tell that it's a spherical body, celestial body, the Earth. And it's like, it's not a perfect ball. It's not like a perfect, it's more like a pear or a football. Like I said yesterday, it's pear shaped or football shaped. It kind of like gets rounder at the bottom towards the South Pole. But I just, it just gets me every time when I think about flat earthers. I mean, it's almost worse than, people that believe in God. It's worse than, it's almost as bad as that. I respect them, but I reject their belief. I respect anybody that at least they have, like I said, at least they have some kind of understanding. They have something to stand on. They're not on the fence. They're not like an agnostic. Oh, well, which way should I go? Should I go for faith or reason? They're for faith. They're not for reason. They can use reason sometimes for sport or for just in the range of the moment, but they won't go any further. So reason is the be all and end all of human epistemology. And epistemology is essentially the science of knowledge. And Dr. deGrasse Tyson has it in spades, and he does it so wonderfully and so simply and so beautifully. He does it with passion and humor and the ability to convey the message with gusto and that fire. I respect that. But when he was talking to Joe Rogan, he's saying like he has to have a sense of values. He has to have a value system in order to continue on with his work and continue on with his life, his own mind, body, and soul. They all have to be in congruence. They all have to be all together. That's the power behind all this. That's what I think is, worthy of all praise. Don't give God or Jesus the glory. Give science and reason the glory. They deserve it. I mean, they're not, but conceptually, reason deserves all the glory. It is what saves us. We're so-called rational animals, but we're rational animals by choice. We choose to be rational. By any meaning, any manner of the day, we can change and become irrational. That's what we have to stray away from. So we have Dr. Tyson, and he's been, asked many times. He's been asked on various occasions, why do you think that people don't believe in the round earth ideal? And like I said, the two things, freedom of speech and education. Like I said, and I'll reiterate, freedom of speech, you can say wherever the hell you want, at whatever time in the hell you want, do it and say it and express it. Put it in a play, a novel, a newspaper editorial, a TV show, a movie, a video game, however you want to express yourself. If you want to say there's a flat earth, fine. Go ahead. You're able to do it. You are free to do it. I'm not going to put, shackles on you and make you, completely and damn you and be like Galileo, put you on house arrest for your ideas, for your real ideas too, not like you're blaspheming and trying to say something that's not real. You're saying what's real and you're getting punished for it. That's what I'm talking about. But this second part, oh my God, education in America. Oh, everybody says we got to pay the teachers more. We got to pay the teachers more. We got to pay the teachers more. I've said this on many occasions. I said this once, twice, 10,000 times. Get government the hell out of education. Get them out of the government schools, make them privatized, have them with schools that are like vocal.media that don't have any ads, don't have anything, trying to sell something to the kids. Like, I always say, like, oh yeah, Google and Apple and, Netflix schools and Facebook schools, that'd be awesome. And they could be awesome. But this site I have to remember people don't understand or people don't know about. Vocal.media pays me, it's paid me thousands of dollars to get, or over $1,000 to write. And they give you money for challenges and different things, for tips, for pledges, for views, for reads on your stories. So it's a wonderful, beautiful mechanism, and there's no ads. There's no ads whatsoever. No ads. So I think there can be a school just like that, and there can be a school system just like that. But everybody always says, "Oh, we got to pay the teachers. We got to pay the teachers," and we should pay the teachers, and they should get paid like what Google engineers get, what Facebook engineers get, hundreds of $1,000s a year. 200,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, $1 million a year, maybe, to the top, performers, top teachers, top professors. I've had my fair share of both. I had my share of teachers that really didn't give a damn. That if you see in that one video, I'm gonna look at my notes. Student. I'm gonna look it up. Go into my notes. Student. I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking for it. It's tough to find. But essentially, there was a student. I can't remember exactly. He was on the news, but he was talking about how the teacher really wasn't doing anything, wasn't engaging with the students, was just giving out busy work, and here's some paperwork to do while I do my nails, or watch videos on YouTube or whatever the hell she was doing. Not teaching. That teacher is going to be weeded out. Substitute teacher, whatever the hell they were, I don't care what they were. That teacher's not going to exist in a privatized, fully free, capitalist school system. Our education system is too important. From pre-K to post-doctorate, everything has to be privatized. The whole thing. And there will be people in this system still who will say the earth is flat. They will say that there's a connection between the flatness of the earth and what we decide to do with what happens on the earth. There'll still be people. There may not be teachers. There may be some teachers. I bet there are some teachers. There has to be one teacher in this entire country, United States of America, that has said, the earth is flat. I'm sure. At least one. At least one. Give me one out of millions. Out of millions, it's got to be at least one. Got to be at least one. Got to be. Out of millions of teachers, there's got to be one that said the earth is flat. You can go home and tell your parents that. They'll tell you different. I'm telling you the truth. I have evidence. I have proof. I have truth behind it. They say all they want. But it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the reality. And that's going to be the sadness. That if we continue in this trend, it will be the downfall of America. But I don't think that has to happen. Flat earthers can say what they want, can be, triggered by the facts all they want. But facts are facts. You can't change. You can't say one thing's nature is not going to be its nature. If a venomous snake has venom in its fangs and it bites you, you're going to feel it and your skin's going to start to, and your tissue is going to start to deteriorate until you get an anti-venom shot. That's a fact. That's not kidding. That's real. I hate to have such a graphic and horrendous example, but that is just true. Say, okay, we all know where babies come from. Everybody's watching this knows where babies come from. Say you're having a child. You're having a child. And, it's a joy. It's great to have a kid. But how did the kid get there? Because, I'm not going to go into detail, but, there's a certain amount of reality that everybody has to accept to know how the child got into the womb of the woman. Even in the process of artificial insemination, it's the same deal. USN, the Earth is flat. All right, USN. Thanks for calling me a nigger, by the way. I put the hard ER in it too. But tell me, how is the Earth flat? Please, I entertain it all. Give me an example. Everybody says, "Oh, the Earth is flat," and then nothing. Earth is flat, nigga. No research, no science, no reason. And of course they say the Earth is flat. They don't say the moon is flat. They don't say Mars is flat. They don't say Venus is flat. They don't say the sun is flat. Everything else is, I love how, the dioramas. If you look at dioramas, they're at least like spherical. If you look on any 4th or 5th grade up to 12th grade or even, college level, those dioramas of the planets around the solar system, going around the sun, they're spherical. They're not flat. So that's just obvious. But I think you're trolling, USN. I think you're trolling. But I just had to, get that off. Because people confuse that. People confuse that all the time. So, what I think is that people, don't think. Literally, they just don't think. They use faith. They use skepticism. They use cynicism. They can be atheists as hell, or quote unquote atheists, because atheism is about reason. But they say the flat Earth is that's ridiculous to be a sphere. That doesn't make any sense. It has to be flat. I walk on the ground. How come I don't fly into the air? Well, one thing, that's because of gravity. Gravity does not, pull. It pushes more so. It doesn't pull you towards anything. It pushes down. That's why when you jump up in the air, you fall back down on the ground because of gravity. It pushes you down. I learned that from Dr. Tyson as well. Just the illustration, just the thought of saying it. Because I thought about it. I was like, what? When people say gravitate towards, is that proper? Is that the right way of speaking? Do you really gravitate towards something? Is it pulling you or is it pushing you? I think gravity is more so pushing you. But flat earthers, they just stand on their own too. At least they have something to stand on. At least they don't say, I don't know, one way or the other. It's all God, all Jesus. It's all about God and Jesus and His name. And it could be flat, it could be earth. It could be flat, it could be round. I don't know, but He's going to come one day. He's going to grab me up, and we're going to be going away to heaven. And is heaven flat? Is heaven round? Now that you're getting to the seriousness, is heaven round or is heaven flat? Are the streets of gold on flat land? Is it flat or is it because it's rounded? The pearly gates, are they, and the mansions, are they? Is it in a flat world or is it a rounded world in heaven? So you get into these parts of the situation, you're like, maybe that doesn't make quite as much sense as I thought it did. Maybe it doesn't quite equate to reality. Doesn't measure up too well. But Dr. Tyson, he just does a great job. Like the late great Carl Sagan. I watched the Cosmos. I think I watched every Cosmos episode one summer. They had it on PBS, and they had it was a few weeks. I think it was like a few weeks that they showed it. They showed all the episodes of the Cosmos. I was just like, this is just great. He had such a great kind of way of speaking. Like, not making fun of him, but he just had like a great way of talking. Same thing with Dr. Tyson. They had great ways of relating knowledge. I thought that was great. So that is what is, just like flat earthers don't piss me off. Like they don't really make me mad as much. They're at least searching for an answer. They're trying to say, they're like they're putting one and one and making it equals elephant. Like it makes zero sense. Like 2 + 2 equals thunderstorms. Like it's like, well, are there 2 thunderstorms, or it's just goofy like that. All right, we got not a cult of personality. I doubt a significant amount of people believe that Earth theory. Don't really see the point in this. So why are you here? Why tell me you don't see the point in this if you're not gonna be here? Thanks for the viewership. I appreciate you being here for a viewer, but say you don't find the point in it, then get the hell out of here. I really don't need you. I'm telling truth and facts. That's the whole point about my broadcast. That's the whole point. Showing how there are people that don't believe in something, that believe in something that's not true. It's a fallacy. People are cute. People are funny. He gonna say, I doubt a significant amount of people believe the Earth, that flat Earth theory. Don't really see the point in this. So why even come up to my show? Why even say that? Why even have you obviously took the time to type out that message, and there are still people that believe in the flat Earth theory. No matter how many people there could be one person believing the flat Earth theory, and I still want to question and wonder why and investigate into the reasoning what brought to them that conclusion. Will do. No need both of us wasting our time. Exactly. Thank you. Salute. Get your goofy ass out of here. Don't need you. Let the welfare feed you. Oh man, people are funny. That's funny. That's weird to me. Come on other people's lives, say, "Oh, this is a waste of time." There's not a lot of people here that have the flat Earth theory. This is a waste of time for me. I'm gonna go away. So why'd you come in the first place? Like, it's so goofy. Doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Oh, people are funny. But I got 3 people in here and 3 likes, and that's cool. And a few more people that came in before. So it's like, it's not hitting like it was hitting yesterday. It was hitting yesterday. Yesterday was hitting because it was a holiday. And I think people had opportunity to talk on their phone, and watch TV and, go to cookouts and watch fireworks and stuff like that. They had a chance to do that. But now it's back to reality, back to work. I'm up to 6 right now, 6 people watching. I appreciate that. Okay, not a call to personality. It's random, Dingleberry. Okay, I'm a Dingleberry then. Okay, so it's random. Why are you continuing to write? You're still writing. You're still here. You can leave. I'm not saying you have to leave. I'm not gonna block you. I'm not gonna do something like that. But you're doing some pussified shit, saying all this stuff like a little punk. And we don't let me go through these, these YouTube streams. The Son of the Sun. Told some lesbians about your channel. They are now subscribers. I salute you. Thank you, Son of the Sun. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Are they two dice that look Christian Mignon like? Oh man, yeah. But that, what is this? His name is not a cult of personality. That's a cute name too. That's cute. Not a cult of personality. I'm just so clever in my way of speaking, in my deportment. I'm just so clever, more clever than you. I'm gonna go into your stream and say that it's a waste of time. Why'd you go on my stream in the first place? Like, you knew from the jump. You look at the title and knew what I was talking about. Come on. Appreciate that, son of the sun. I really do. Thank you. You get 8 more and I'll give you a wrench. Need 10 subscribers. 10 subscribers a week. That'd be nice. That's 520 subscribers. Where's my wrench? I said you give me 8 more. 8 more subscribers and I'll give you a wrench. And he says, okay. Yeah, so that's all on the lips of everybody. The education system. That's the era right now. It's July 5th. Back to school. Everything you'll see on TV is going to trickle in. By next week, it's getting louder and louder. Back to school, back to school, back to school. Back to college, back to the dorms. But what is it when we go back to school? Besides, mass shootings. Did we have any school mass shootings in 2024 in the first half? I'm trying to remember. I mean, I think that there were obviously mass shootings. There's always mass shootings, but I don't know if there were any school mass shootings. I don't remember. You could correct me. Let me see. School. I'm looking it up right now. School shootings in U.S. Facts USA. There have been at least 34 school shootings in the United States so far, as of June 24. So this is last month. 9 were on college campuses, and 25 were on K-12 school grounds. The incidents left 16 people dead and at least 38 other victims injured, according to CNN's analysis of events reported by the Gun Violence Archive, Education Week, and Every Town for Gun Safety. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that's just something else we have to contend with, school shootings. By the time we, put down the pistols and the automatic rifles or semi-automatic rifles, we'll have, at least a little bit of room for learning something, goddammit. I don't know. Is that too much to ask? Can I learn a subject, please? And that's the thing about Dr. deGrasse Tyson said too. They say, look, we're going to have this unit, and we're going to study this for a week. And at the end of the week, we're going to have a test. And then we're going to move on to the next unit. Like, hold on. Can we like, for me, I was stupid. I couldn't grasp. I was like in the water. I was that nigga like this, like trying to get the hell. I can swim. I can swim in real life, but I'm just giving you an example. I was like gasping for air and can I get out of this water? Because it was just too much. It was too fast for me. I was in slow classes. I was in medium to moderate classes, and I was slow because I understand. I couldn't understand how fast we had to move, and all it is in testing. It's in the state testing. It's in the AP testing. It's all about the tests, and none of that matters now. That's what's so amazing. At the time, I was going through it. You know when your foot falls asleep? I felt that through my whole body, especially in my face, when I was doing the tests. It was horrific. It was scary. it was a weird experience. I took on that, but like every day in the school system, every day in the class, and that's another thing too. It's like you have multiple classes and there's multiple subjects, and they don't like. I want to know if there's a school system that has all of the school, your math teacher and your your physics teacher, your algebra 2 teacher, your physics teacher, and your language arts or English teacher or Spanish teacher. They all are on the same page. That would be awesome, right? I mean, even in high school, where you go to different, you don't have just one teacher for all the subjects, but you will be on the same page. Given I'm sure that couldn't work because people have different math classes and different science classes. I get that. I understand that it probably couldn't work, but there might be somewhere out of the millions, where everything is integrated. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, but I doubt if that's even a goal or even if it's possible. But I really want to focus on the fact that flat earthers it's like a disrespect for science. It's a disrespect for themselves. It's really a disrespect for themselves. And everybody says they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. Well, Aristotle and other Greeks knew about it 2,000 years prior to Columbus. Or at least somewhere 2,000 or 1,000, somewhere in there, 1,500, something like that. Years prior, long time before he had said anything about the world being round. So, flat earthers don't bother me. They don't get under my skin. I was in a live I was in a live chat, and I said that I'm an atheist. She's like, one woman was like, I don't like atheists. They get under my skin. I don't know what it is. It's a fear. It's an affront to their whole system of belief, their whole system of their lives, and the people that are in their lives. Their grandmama, their grandpapa, their father, their mother, their sisters, their brothers, they all believe in God. So it's like, if I say I don't believe in God, that's like saying that they're liars. And I can't have that. So it's like, it's difficult. It's kind of like surgery. It's like surgeons that go in to try to find a specific cancer cell or a tumor, and they have there's different tissue that's blocking it, and that's good tissue, and you don't want to upset that particular tissue. It's a very difficult kind of game of chance. It's like a game of chance because you want to get the cancerous tumor out, but you don't want to disrupt the good or disturb the good tissue. So it's like that. That's the kind of world we live in. It's very, very sensitive and very touchy. Very sensitive. We have to realize the fact that there are people that don't have a clue when it comes to flat earth or round earth. Some people are like, I just don't know. I don't have any facts. I can't go by. Look up into the sky. See the moon? Yeah, that's round, just like the earth. That's as much as facts and reality and truth as you need. People that say the earth is flat. It's like saying, I don't know, lemons are sweet, It's like, well, they have some concentration of sugar. There's a percentage of sugar in the lemon that makes it, try that. Okay. They're sour. They become sweet when you put them in water and put sugar in it and make it lemonade. That's how they become sweet, or some sweetener. So I have to say, it just gets to a point where it's very, it's very difficult to live in a world sometimes, live in a country sometimes that doesn't like to be this, you don't want to upset anything. You don't want to rock the boat or rock the rocket ship, as in an Ayn Rand short story. Nobody wants to rock the rocket ship. And that was a beautiful illustration. Because you just might have your mind changed. That's what I think it is. It's kind of like a fear. You just might have your mind changed. You might have your mind changed. You might have your mind blown. It could be a totally different situation for you to live under, to see, to understand, to think about, to discuss, to really have a lockdown on reality and on truth. That's what Dr. Tyson does. Dr. Tyson has a specific goal. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I know he probably doesn't, call himself Dr. Tyson too much, but he has a doctorate. I think Carl Sagan had a doctorate too. Let me make sure. Pretty sure he did. Nobody called him Dr. Sagan that much. Let me see. Yup, Bachelor's of Arts, Bachelor's of Science, Master's degree in Science, and a PhD. So he is a doctorate as well. He would have been 90 in November. He would have been 90 in November. I wonder if they're gonna do something for that on his 90th birthday. I don't subscribe to celebrating birthdays, but achievements, and especially when you die, it's like it's not even an issue anymore. But if they do something for him, that'd be awesome. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. I don't know if he's a genius. I don't know if Carl Sagan was a genius. Maybe in some elements, in certain ways, they were geniuses, or Dr. Tyson is a genius. But they're at the very least brilliant men. And that's another thing we have to talk about. The men. There's Michio Kaku is a man. There's a few other astrophysicists that are women, but who knows their names? I mean, they show up for 3 seconds on a documentary, and then it disappears again. You forgot who she was. But let more women be scientists and be astrophysicists. They will be more rational in some parts, right? Like Ayn Rand. It took a woman to be so rational and reasonable. They always say that. That's like a stereotype, and a vicious one at that. You take a man. I can't remember the whole thing, so it's something along the lines of you take a man, you strip him of reason, and what you got in a woman, or something. So along those lines, very vicious, very ugly. Not true, obviously. But I'm just speaking from the point of view of somebody that never thought the Earth was flat. I always looked at pictures. I'm like, oh, it's round. Okay. I looked at the what do they call the dioramas. I looked at those dioramas. I was like, oh yeah, it's just round. It's round. It's round, right? Like, you see that, right? You see it's round, don't you? You see the sun is flat. Is the sun flat? Like, it makes no sense. People don't understand that. People don't get it. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson spoke with Joe Rogan and D Nice, and he was amiable and open up to questions and thoughtful and engaging. I appreciate that. That's one of the best traits to have, to be that way, especially when it comes to flat earthers, because it can be contentious. It's like faith, they get contentious. They get, oh, but I said that, because the light doesn't refract, and, a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. I mean that flat earthers take it upon themselves to be, not monsters or, just mistaken. They're just mistaken. That's all they are. They're mistaken in their viewpoint and their ability to express themselves. They're mistaken. They're in error. And that's fine. You can correct that error. As long as you're living, you still have the opportunity to correct it. Once you're dead, you're dead. You're just non-existent. But on this planet or in this universe, wherever we may go, you can correct those notions. Like I said, it's weird how I say flat earthers. I should say flat mooners. I should say flat loonies or lunars, or flat Martians, flat Mars, flat suns, flat Jupiters. That's what I should be saying. But we have a specific time frame, for life. We haven't gone beyond at least 124, I think. The oldest person was 123, I think, in France. Make sure of that. Jean Calment. She's the only documented case of someone living past 120 years old. She's 122. 122. Believe that, playboy. Believe that. That's facts. So we only have a certain amount of time. It can be cut short too, depending on what disease you may have, or if you have some kind of attack or collision or something like that, some kind of accident, something happens going on. She was born in 1875 and died in 1997. Just imagine how many things changed from that time period. Extraordinary. It's very extraordinary. So flat Mars people, flat Jupiter people. That's the reason. That's what we should start saying, because that's almost like they're saying like, oh, that's ridiculous. Jupiter and Mars, they're not flat, they're round. Oh, but the Earth is round. Oh, that's where I'm from. That's where that's the place where I live. I'm on flat ground. I'm on all the moon. Well, we went to the moon. Oh, well, we didn't. Did we go to the moon? I mean, was there a landing? Was there a lunar landing? It was shot in the basement of a Hollywood studio, and bunch of bullshit stuff you can't say around Buzz Aldrin, or you might get a knuckle sandwich. You might get some hands put on you. But it's serious. Serious. Men died. At least one man died. I can't. I'm looking going back to my notes. Man. More than one man died. On the Project Gemini astronauts, Elliot C. and Charles Bissett, they died. Apollo 1 crew. Let me see that. Apollo 1 crew. Apollo 1. I'm looking up right now. Talking about plugs out and things of that nature. There was a fire. From the Earth to the Moon. I'm looking for it right now. Give me a moment. So there's a lot of movies that came out, like a miniseries, From the Earth to the Moon, First Man, Apollo 13, For All Mankind. So there are people died going to try to go into the moon, and it was amazing. That was a success. Apollo 11 and the subsequent Apollo missions were successes. Those were valuable because of that fact. All right, we got Rick James in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. He's black, and he's early as he invites you to discuss what he views and sees is in the looking glass as they appear to be. I'm pleased to present Skylar Saunders. Thank you for saying everything right, Rick James. Salute you. I hope you're enjoying your Friday, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you for chiming in. I might go a little bit longer. I was going to cut out, but since Rick James is here, he's he's almost a day one. He's from the first year. It's coming up on the year anniversary already. God damn. The first time I saw Rick James on here. I'm off the dust cold turkey. I bet you are. You're gonna get right back on the train. Don't worry. I understand. I've seen it before. You quit cold turkey and then you get right back on the dust. So that's what I think is amazing what people say. I mean, it wasn't a lunar landing. It wasn't real. It wasn't true. It wasn't a fact. Men died. Okay, men. It wasn't like they were play time. Men died. Their lives were taken from them, taken from their families, taken from their wives. It's very serious. And the beautiful part about the Apollo 11 and the subsequent Apollo missions that returned to the moon was the fact that we see it. We see the Earth and its curvature and the fact that it's round. What other evidence do you need? What do you want to say? I may say in the next video, flat Jupiters. Flat Saturners. With the rings and everything. The rings. Or maybe they don't call it space dust. I was going a little crazy with that. But I know definitely they call spots on the sun sunspots. So it's not moving like I thought it would be moving, but I appreciate everybody that came in. Thank you, Rick James. I'm gonna head out. See what the day is about. So I thank you very much. I hope everybody has a great Friday, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Take care.